For the first time in the 2025 season, we go short track racing at one of NASCAR's oldest and most beloved tracks, a track called the Paperclip that sits in the middle of the friendly confines of Southern Virginia. A quiet place with a population of not even 1,000 people roars to life 2 times a year with 38 race cars and over 50,000 fans for some bean and banging around this great racetrack. Welcome to Race 7 in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. It's the Cookout 400 from the Martinsville Speedway in Ridgeway, Virginia. And the weather here in Ridgeway, Virginia is not that good. It's going to be very cloudy, low temperature in the 70s, but look at that percentage of rain, about 50%, with winds south through the racetrack at 15 miles an hour. The gusts of wind can get up to as high as 30 miles an hour. It will be a very interesting day with wet weather tires being an option for the stars of the Cup Series. Welcome everyone back to an episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jed. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and hopefully today's Cup Series race at Martinsville will be much cleaner than what we saw last night in the Xfinity Series. If you haven't seen my reaction, go ahead and check it out. To say I was utterly disappointed is an understatement on my thoughts on that race. But let's jump into it with our news and notes. And one story we got to talk about involves an Xfinity Series driver, and that is Jesse Love. He has 2 Xfinity wins to his name, both on the super speedways, including Daytona at the first race of the season this year, with 4 top 10s in the first 6 races of the campaign, sitting in the top 5 in points. Jesse Love has been granted a Cup Series start on April 13th at the Bristol Motor Speedway, driving the number 33 RCR C4 Energy Chevrolet. Now, this will be the second time RCR will use this 33 car for a different driver. They already announced some races for Austin Hill and United Rentals in that ride, so it's nice to see them give an opportunity for a driver like Jesse Love, who has a lot of talent, but they're jumping him into the deep end with this one. He's got to either sink or swim in this race for a track like Bristol, because if it's anything like what we saw last spring, oh boy, he's in for a treat. But regardless, it should be interesting to see how Jesse Love fares out in his Cup Series debut. Let's take a look at the point standings following Miami with 20 races to go in the regular season. Kyle Larson took his first checker flag of 2025, but still top of the board of the standings is his teammate William Byron, but Larson does jump 4 spots, minus 36, with teammate Alex Bowman minus 39. Tyler Reddick now loses a spot, minus 1, and Bell with his spin loses 3 spots. 6 is Chase Elliott, the worst of the Hendrick cars, but he's still not looking too shabby in 6th position, minus 63. Bubba Wallace, this is the best start he has had so far in his Cup Series career, sitting 7th in points, jumps back into the top 10 after a great 3rd place run, jumps up 4 spots, minus 71, then tied for 8th is Denny Hamlin, who also jumps up 4 spots, and Chris Buescher at minus 80, with Ryan Blaney with his engine failure once again for the 2nd time in 3 weeks, now falls to 10th, minus 82. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR, and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Pole Award, given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Christopher Bell for his 14th career Cup Series pole, his first at Martinsville, and his first pole out since Las Vegas in the fall of last year, scoring with a speed of 96.034 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $70 million in being a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. And now here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2025 Cookout 400 from the Martinsville Speedway. It's a Bell surrounded by the bow ties. Christopher Bell on pole. Alongside him is Chase Elliott, the fall 2020 winner. Row 2 is a former pack of Martinsville winners, both from Hendrick Motorsports. Alex Bowman, the fall 2021 winner, and Kyle Larson, the spring 2023 winner. Row 3 has Denny Hamlin, the most active, winningest driver here at Martinsville at the moment, with 5 to his name, sits alongside Chris Buescher in the 17-4. Row 4 has Joey Logano, the 2018 fall Martinsville winner, and Bubba Wallace does have a Cup win to his name, but has 2 Truck Series Martinsville wins to his career. And around at the top 10 is Tyler Reddick in the 45 car, and on the outside of him is the defending winner of the spring race here at Martinsville, William Byron, in the 24 ride. Row 6 is Chase Briscoe. Alongside outside of him is Kyle Busch, a former winner here at Martinsville. Row 7, Ty Gibbs, one of his best starts so far this season, sitting at 13th alongside the Las Vegas winner Josh Berry in the 21 ride. He did win an Xfinity race here in Martinsville a couple years ago. Michael McDowell and John Hernimich, good starting position for him. Row 9 is Ross Chastain and Austin Dillon. When round out the top 20 is Zane Smith alongside fellow Ford Austin Cindric. Row 11 is Ryan Preece alongside another Ford and Cole Custer. AJ Allmendinger and Noah Gregson make up row 12. Row 13, Todd Gilliland and Daniel Suarez. Brad Keselowski 1 year back in 2019. Alongside him is Ty Dillon. And round out the top 30 is Spire Motorsports teammates Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley. In the final 4 rows, Eric Jones 31st, Ryan Blaney in 32nd, shocking qualifying run for him. He is a 2-time Martinsville winner, winning both in the last 2 fall events. Row 17 is rookie Shea Van Gisbergen and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 18, shocking Riley Herbst for 2311 Racing, alongside him is Cody Ware. And rounding out the final 2 rows is Casey Mears, making his first Cup Series debut since the 2019 Daytona 500. Alongside him is Burt Myers for our team Amerivet Racing. We last saw him at the Clash at the Coliseum, but was not able to make it into the main event. Here's a look at the odds to win here at Martinsville. Ryan Blaney, even though he's starting outside the top 30, still has the best odds at plus 450. Kyle Larson at plus 600. Hamlin at 650 with Bell and Elliott at 700 apiece. Then Byron Logano, those pair have a pair of plus 1,000. Briscoe at 1,400 with Wallace and Bowman at 1,600. Those could be quite underdog steals there. Tyler Reddick and Busch, as well as Barry, both sitting at 2,200. 2,800s go to 4 drivers: Gibbs, Priest, Chastain, and Keselowski, with Buescher and Cindric at plus 4,000, and Noah Gragson sitting at plus 6,500. Okay, so what can we expect here at Martinsville today? What are the storylines? Well, number 1, rain. Like I said in the pre-race show earlier on, we have about a 50% chance of rain here today. Now, and since this track is under a mile, wet weather option or tires will be an option for this race here today. We last saw it at North Wilkesboro, then we saw it again, I believe the last time we saw it at New Hampshire. So we have seen this a couple times, even though it has been very, very rare. But I don't think we've ever seen it at Martinsville. So this should be very interesting to see how this plays out, because I do believe that we will get some rain here today. And if we do that, oh boy, that race is going to be very entertaining to watch. Will it be good? I don't know, but it will be entertaining to watch to see how these drivers will navigate through the rain here at Martinsville. The second thing we're going to talk about is Team Penske. Still looking for their first win of the 2025 season, but 2 of their 3 drivers, like I said, have won here at Martinsville. Joe Logano, the 2018 Martinsville Fall winner. Although he still hasn't gotten a top 10 yet, he still has the most laps led out of any driver this season. That 22 car has speed. They just need to be able to close the deal. And then Ryan Blaney, like I said, starting outside the top 30, but has won the last 2 fall races here at this racetrack. Has a really good track record even during the spring events here at Martinsville. He'll be very interesting to see if he can make his way up through the field. And also Cindric, not much to talk about with him, but who knows? He's been having some quiet runs in the 2025 season. Maybe he could pull up another surprise one here today. Let's talk about Toyota now. Now, Toyota, ever since the next gen era here at Martinsville, has not been the greatest. So far, they've only been to victory lane 1 time, and that was Christopher Bell in the fall of 2022. Now, he is starting on pole, so there is a little bit of hope for maybe Toyota to break that drought. But you have to look at some other drivers. Denny Hamlin, who's starting, I believe, in the 5th position. He's a 5-time winner at Martinsville, one of the best at the racetrack, but the last time he won at Martinsville was 10 years ago in March of 2015. It's been a long time since Denny Hamlin has taken home a grandfather clock. Now, he has had a couple close moments to go to victory lane this year, including Phoenix a couple weeks ago, but him coming back to victory lane at Martinsville will be a very tough task. He's been close. He's led a lot of laps, though they've been mainly in the fall event. Still, he's a driver to keep an eye on. And another driver to keep an eye on is Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, he's starting in the 8th position, but he has been fast. Was fastest in practice, had the best fastest lap time, was fastest in the 5 and 10 lap averages, and I believe 2nd and 4th fastest in the 15 and 20 lap average. So he will be very strong here today at Martinsville. But if you're overall interesting to see how strong Toyota will be, because this track has not been the best to their liking. Unlike on the other side of the spectrum, Chevrolet and specifically Hendrick Motorsports. Since the next gen era, they have dominated here at Martinsville. Now, not only does Hendrick Motorsports have the most wins out of any team organization at this racetrack, thanks to the likes of drivers like Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip, but also in recent years, their current drivers have also been former Cup Series winners here at this racetrack. William Byron is a 2-time winner, won the 2024 and 22 spring races. Larson won in the spring of 23, Bowman the fall 21 winner, and Chase Elliott the fall 2020 winner. So they've all have, since 2020, at least a Hendrick driver has gone to victory lane, either in the fall or in the spring race. So this trend is more than likely bound to continue, because you look at the drivers that are starting in the top 5, 3 of them are Hendrick drivers, and William Byron is in the top 10. So those 4 drivers at Hendrick Motorsports, they will be extremely dangerous, will be lethal to the field here today. But it is interesting when you look at the storylines coming into this race, there's a lot of things that could be balanced out. You have to look at those Hendrick drivers, but you look at Team Penske with Ryan Blaney specifically, you look at Toyota specifically with Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace. There's some interesting characters in this field today that could make this race very interesting to watch. And you throw on top of that the chance of rain. Who knows? I'm just saying, I think y'all got to tune into this one. Let's take a look at my Fantasy Live lineup. I do have Bubba Wallace in my lineup once again with Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney in my garage. The reason why I have him in my garage because I do think he'll be fast. I just don't know whether or not if his engine will make it to the end of the race because, yikes, things have not been too consistent in the Ryan Blaney 12 car camp. But of those 6 drivers, who do I have winning here today? It will be the guy that I'm wearing, the 23 of Bubba Wallace. I think he will go to victory lane here today. Like I said, he's a former winner here at Martinsville, has won 2 truck races, has always liked this racetrack. He was the highest finishing non-Hendrick driver last spring, where he finished, I believe, in the 3rd position, or no, in the 4th position, I should say. So we know how good he is at Martinsville. In the last few weeks, tell you what, Bubba Wallace in 2025 is the best we have seen so far in his Cup career. This is the best start he's had all season long, still inside the top 10 in points, currently running in 7th. Had a very close win last Sunday at Miami, was also very strong in Vegas. He has had some very, very strong runs in recent weeks, and I feel like there's always been that saying, if you're close, if every single Sunday you're close, you're almost there, eventually you're going to get a win, and I think Martinsville will be the place today. I have Bubba Wallace taking the checkered flag. But what are your thoughts on this race? Let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you think is going to win? What do you think will happen? Make sure y'all tune in later tonight, immediately following for the race, for recapping everything that happened at Martinsville. But until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the cookout for 100. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tonight.